What shall we ask the tarot today? I have my Ask the Tarot Love and Abundance Edition Oracle deck that I've designed myself. There's a link in the bio to all of the decks that I'm using today. But in the meantime, what shall we ask today? So where should I be focusing my efforts? Okay, Spirit. For the viewer, what advice do you have for the viewer in where they ought to be focusing their efforts? This could be around certain relationships or other aspects in their life entirely. But let's have a look. Where ought the viewer to be focusing their efforts at this particular time? What do we need to know, please, Spirit? Okay, so bottom of the deck, we've got the Hierophant. We've got the Five of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Cups that came in sideways, the Ace of Pentacles that came in sideways, the Seven of Pentacles that came in sideways, and we also have got the Tower, two major arcanas. So to me, this reading I feel is going to resonate for those that have maybe been scattered or maybe feeling like you've been stretched thin, like your energy has been pulled in just too many directions. And it's showing that there is something deeply meaningful that you've actually been putting off. And this could be something or someone that you love, and it feels like it's tied to a soul contract, and it's to do with how you're meant to show up in this lifetime. And it's not necessarily that you're off track, but that you may have been caught up in the day-to-day while your soul's deeper work is patiently waiting. So let's go through these cards together. So as always, I like to remind you that this is a collective reading, and if you would like a personal reading, you go to the link in my bio here, and you will see a number of different offerings if you scroll this way. I have a couple of same-day readings that are available, and then as of tomorrow, I am going to be closing shop for a couple of days. If you are ever curious about having a one-on-one in-person meeting with me, a reading with me, then I do have a retreat down in Costa Rica where we will have the opportunity to read together. So I will leave that with you, and let's go back to this reading here. So let's start here with the Hierophant, and this really anchors the entire reading in something far deeper than everyday distractions that we see up here. So this to me is about a soul contract, and this might be a sacred promise that you have made with your higher self before coming into this lifetime. This could be a vow to embody certain gifts, to teach, to guide, or to live in alignment with something larger than yourself. For some, this could also be very reflective of an agreement that you've made with another person. So someone whose presence or partnership really activates your spiritual path. But at its core, this energy feels deeply personal. So you might be a natural teacher or a healer or a mentor, and it feels like you carry ancient codes and wisdom or spiritual insight that is meant to be shared. So it's not just what you do, it is who you are. So if you've been putting off something that feels either too big or too sacred or not now, then this is your reminder that this calling is not going to go away, because it is written into your soul contract. Now, there are so many very unique and beautiful cards within this bundle here, but the problem is that they all came in sideways. And to me, this really suggests that there's been postponement, there's been hesitation, or there's been some sort of delay. I want to talk about the Tower here, and it's showing that what's possible is a massive transformation. So this card is really standing out as the one with the most potential to change everything. And while this tower is often feared, in this particular reading, it feels like a breakthrough waiting to happen. One that could completely shift the foundations of your life in all of the best ways with these cards here. So let's look at the imagery on this particular card, and this is one of my absolute favorite decks. You will find it linked in my bio under my favorite tarot decks. We can see that there's these pile of skulls and they rise within this structure, and this feels very symbolic of something that you've carried, not just in this lifetime but across lifetimes. So these could be codes or soul level memories or dreams that have tried to surface again and again, and this might be the moment when they're finally ready to rise. We then see the bees, all of them here at the top, can you see? And to me, this is a symbol of collective service, of divine purpose and sacred work. So this is not just about your personal fulfillment, but there is this ripple effect here. And you're being asked to step into something that serves the highest good of all. And in doing so, this is going to bring structure and sweetness and healing, not just into your life, but also to the collective. Now, this came in sideways, as I mentioned, so this means to me that you're not trying to avoid a disaster, but you are postponing destiny. And once you say yes to what's calling you, the shift could be absolutely extraordinary. Now, this Seven of Pentacles is incredibly potent within this spread. So traditionally, the Seven of Pentacles, it speaks to patience and preparation and long-term vision. Seeds that were planted long ago that are just beginning to bear fruit. But in this reading, especially with it coming in sideways, the message feels different. It feels like you're not waiting on the seeds. It feels like the seeds are actually waiting on you. To me, the skulls that we saw in this Tower card are represented once again in this Seven of Pentacles. And it feels like the knowledge and the mastery you've carried through many lifetimes. In fact, you may even feel like you've lived multiple lifetimes within this particular lifetime. And each chapter has shaped you and has taught you and has matured you. And the roots of this gift, this purpose, they run deep. And actually, you are ready. And the only thing that is delaying this growth is the belief that you still need more time or more experience or more validation, but you don't. All that's left is for you to claim it and to allow what's been growing underground to finally come to light. Now, with this Knight of Cups, I see it twofold. I see it as a sacred connection with another, but I also feel like this is a purpose-driven creative offering. So the Knight of Cups is always the romantic of the tarot. And for some of you, this really could represent a soul contract with another, a very deep, once-in-a-lifetime type of connection. To me, whenever I see this card, I think of the Holy Grail. So something that is spiritual and emotional and destined. But for many of you, this Knight is also pointing to something else. This, to me, it feels very much like a sacred project. This could be a teaching, this could be a creative offering that you love just as deeply. Now, in this particular deck, the cup is depicted as a bottle. And on the label, we see, the knight, and it says fertility potion. And this tells us that what you've been carrying is very potent, it's alive, and it's filled with possibility. So this is something that could literally birth a new chapter in your life if you let it pour forth. So the skeleton here, it really reminds us that for a long time, possibly you've dreamed of for years, maybe even received psychically or through visions. So you might be very deeply connected to this project. You might see it in your sleep, in your meditations, or you might get these flashes of inspiration that feel like they're coming from beyond. And the truth is that this gift or this path, it is already living inside of you. And the message is the same throughout here, that it is just now yours to take and to share with others. With this Ace of Pentacles, this is a gift that is wanting to flow naturally. So the Ace of Pentacles is the card of new beginnings. It talks about tangible abundance and grounded potential. And even though it came in sideways, the message is still quite clear that what you're meant to manifest is actually already within you. And once again, the hesitation isn't about lack, it's about belief. So what is especially beautiful in this deck is the beautiful pansies that we see here. Now these flowers, they're also known as heart's ease. And that word, it says everything. That this gift, whether it's a soul-aligned relationship or a creative calling, it's meant to bring ease to your heart. It's not meant to be forced. It's not meant to be painfully earned. It is meant to flow naturally. And that's because it is encoded within you. And we've very much been taught that our purpose must be hard and that our mission must come with sacrifice or struggle. But those are old templates. So this is about moving into 50 reality and beyond, where the path is very much aligned with your soul. And yes, it might require courage, but not burnout. The promise of the Ace of Pentacles is that the life that you long for already has roots. And the moment that you stop overcomplicating it is the time when it becomes its bloom. This leads us into these two other cards, and these are the day-to-day distractions and the burdens that did come in the upright position. So these two cards together, they very much speak of the weight of distraction. So the Five of Wands, it speaks to inner conflict, it talks about competing energies, and it talks about the external noise. And the distractions that pull you in 10 different directions every single day. So these represent the burdens of responsibility, and it really becomes clear that you are carrying a lot, and it's no wonder that your energy feels scattered. But here's the thing, those distractions, they're always going to be there. And the question here is, what are you going to prioritize? These cards that came out sideways, they reveal that there's an entirely different lifetime available to you. One that is deeply aligned and sacred and filled with ease. But it is going to require a conscious shift. Not a leap, but just a step. So this might mean doing certain things such as waking up a little earlier. Maybe it means cutting the noise or reshaping your routines. Or maybe it means putting my TikTok on pause for a few days. Come back and see me later though. But anyway, what it is saying is that you have this magnificence that is encoded within you. But like anyone who's ever brought something soul-led into reality, you're going to have to quiet the world around you in order to make this happen. Now, if today's reading stirred something within you, a reminder of your purpose and your mission, or what's truly encoded within you, then I would love to explore that with you further. And I would suggest the Goddess Lineage reading that is linked within my bio. It's designed exactly for this, to really help you uncover the ancient threads that are woven through your soul and to awaken the sacred role that you have come here to embody. Again, if you want to go deeper, then I am personally inviting you to join me in Costa Rica this October for a very beautiful immersive retreat, unlike anything I've offered before. And we're going to gather with some really powerful speakers, soul-led peers, and those who carry this exact soulpreneur frequency. And watch and see as you integrate with these women how you really step into your purpose, because when you align with others walking a similar path, you watch and see how your own light expands.